good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we are doing an abstract piece of artwork. Now, abstract, all abstract means is not realistic. So you may have seen some abstract artwork. Have you seen abstract artwork before, Nip? Picasso is probably the most famous abstract artist. Now, today it is good for senior school kids, middle school, or junior, depending on how detailed you would like to make it. So what we need to do, first of all, you start with a blank piece of paper. If you don't have A3, you can either tape two A4 together or just do it on A4 size. Firstly, with a grey lead, I would like you to draw an abstract. He's having a lick, I don't know what, last night's dinner now. An abstract face. Abstract meaning non-realistic. So this one here, I've had some hanging up in my art room for quite a few years now that my grade 5 and 6s did a few years ago. So a group did this one together. So this is why it's quite detailed and bigger. So we're going to do a smaller, simpler version. All right, so pushing quite hard with your grey lead, because after we paint or draw on it, you are going to want to see it. Now, again, it's going to be abstract, so no right or wrong. Oh, it's looking a bit alien-like. That's fine. I'm going to do the lips up the side. Nice big lips. Big smile up there. Ooh. And I'm going to put the nose on the side too. Oh, she's got a lovely nose. Right here. Good thing about abstract, and this is the case most of the time with art, there is no right or wrong. And I'm going to put her other eye coming up out of here. She is a little bit alien-like today. Give her some eyebrows. Some ears. I'm going to put one down here and one up here. I'm going to give her a necklace and some hair. Alright, so that is my abstract lady. Now, if you don't want to do yours too small and detailed, you can maybe even just divide yours into 4. Now, can you believe this? An art teacher not having a ruler at home. Rubes had a small one, but we could not. We searched high and low, didn't we, today, for a ruler. So, because we're at home, I'm adapting. So, I say let's fold it. I'm going to actually fold it into thirds. I'm going to do this one in 6. Fold it again. Am I doing a good job, Nip? I always say if you stick your tongue out, it helps a little bit. Okay. So, we've divided it into 6. Now, before you do anything, you turn it over and you have to number them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we go to put it back together, we know. Now, before I did one, a little sample one, and I couldn't find 8. I'd had 2 6s. So you need to concentrate a bit more than me. All right. So we're going to cut our squares up. Now, the fun thing about this one is you can do it on your own, or you can do it with members of your family. Maybe everyone can do a couple of squares. And then you can put it back together. The only thing with this project is it looks a lot better if you use the same thing on each square. So if you paint each one, or you draw on each one, or you use texture, you have to use the same one. Okay, so now we've got a whole lot of squares. Look at that. Look how cool and random they are. So you can just take, now I prepared some earlier that I'm going to show you. These are made out of the watercolours that we made out of our old textures. That's what I used for these ones. So if you don't have paint at home, you can use these homemade watercolours that we used, or you can use just texture and colour them in, or I'm an oil pastel fan. So do you like, oh, you like oil pastel too. So I'm going to use oil pastel. So each part you look at is just a whole lot of shapes. So you can just colour in. Now again, great thing about art, doesn't really have to be perfect, and you can even do patterns in some of them if you'd like. Now the way that this is done, because you're doing them all separately, when you put them back together, hopefully they don't match. You don't want them to match. Where are you going, Nip? He's not as into abstract art. Alright. I'm not going to do them all because I want to get on to show you how to do the other ones. We had to pause. We had to get Nip's favourite blanket. He's a bit cold today. So then we go on to another one. I often use similar colours in each one because it's sort of going to be abstract but match as well. Now you need to be able to see the grey lead underneath. So I'm just trying to go around the shapes. Now guys, I love getting your emails with your work. It is my favourite part of this. And you guys have slowed down a bit. Come on, send me some. On the YouTube, under the YouTube thing isn't it, Rube, the email address to send it to? Mrs. M. It's Mrs. M's Art at Home.com. So keep sending. Poppy was sending me some fabulous work there at the start. Now Ailish sent me an email last night. She is up to 20 metres of her finger knitting, so she's catching Ruby. I think she's determined to catch your Rubes. So that's exciting. Do you know what Ruby did? Ruby ended up finger knitting her finger knitting. Now you don't have to even do all of them totally coloured in. You can leave some white spots if you want. Don't have to do each one totally coloured in. I like to do, you can do some hard, you can do some on the side. So you decide, do you want to paint yours? Some people do have paint at home, and I'm going to show you in a minute one that I did earlier. Or you may just use texture, doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh, nearly there, Rubes. Do you know what? I have found it, whenever I get ready for these classes and I do a bit of artwork before, I find it so relaxing. I know a lot of people do just fine. You don't really think about anything else. It's called getting lost in your flow. I'll give him a yellow eyeball. Oh, missed the eyeball there. Alright, one more row. Oh no, I've got 6. Can you count, Miss M? Can you count? You'll have more time to me. Oh, look at those cool lines because I've got cardboard underneath. You're all going to have... can take your time. This is something that you can do and always come back to as well. You don't have to do it all at once. A little bit there. And sometimes when you're drawing it, you don't even know what it is you're colouring in until we put it all back together. I might have to get a bit of glue stick. I had to clean. I'll show you my art room in a minute, here in my back room. I had to give it a bit of a tidy up before. It was getting a bit messy. Oh, I think this is her gorgeous lips. Now, I'm not going to do them red like normal lips. That would be boring. That's not very abstract. I'm going to give her blue lips. Blue. Oh, now I still need to be able to see that line underneath. Right, she's going to have a red face, this part of it. A little bit tired today. I had a little cleaning frenzy this morning. Goodness me, Miss M. Alright. After this, I'm going to zoom my mum and my sisters. Don't know what time it is in Germany. I think it's really early in Germany. About 9 maybe. See how they're all going there on the other side of the world? How amazing is it that we've got all this cool technology, especially in a time like this where we really need it. I'm going to leave that. I think that's her earlobe. All right, last. Give it a whirl. I had a big box of oil pastels somewhere. Oh, I don't know where I put half these things. I put them somewhere safe. And, oh Lord, see, I get in such a mess. This is why I have this on. No matter where I am, if you saw my wardrobe, my kids at school laughed because I think I've got paint on nearly everything I own. What went over the line then? Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't get stressed about these things. Oh, can I see that line there? Boop. Now we might even go back, do a few patterns in. Do some patterns on top. Nip, you got your back to me today. What's going on? It is colder today. I think he's just snuggling in. All right. Put a few stripes down here. Do you know, once you put it together, you might have a look and see where you would like to add a bit more. All right, so I've done all my squares. Let's turn over and put them in order. 3, 5, 6, 4, 1 and 2. So this is why it's important that you've done the numbers on them. Okie doke, I've got my glue stick. Now I'm only just going to put a little blob in the middle because I might need just to move them around a little bit when I turn this baby over. All right, straighten up. That's it. As much as you can. Gosh, that rain sounds amazing. Nip was out in the rain before chewing a big old bone. Towel you down. All right, now we put same size piece of paper on the top. Just give it a little rub. Now flip it over. Whoa, there she blows. All right, now because I didn't put much glue on it, we can just maneuver it around a little tad more. So nice and abstract. All right, I'm going to put a bit more glue on there so it doesn't move too much. Oh, phooey. Move too much when I'm finishing it off. Come on, be good. Work with me, baby. I had to do it that way because you saw me, I got a little bit confused. Happens sometimes, doesn't it? Wow, that rain is coming down. How about that, Nip? Lucky we weren't out walking. Alright, so now it's important that you can see the lines because we are going to join these all together. I might go back later and put a bit more glue. Alright, so you need a darker colour. I don't know where my black's gone. So the thing is, on oil pastel you can't use texture because it wrecks your textures. So we need to use an oil pastel. Do you know what? Have a little look. There might be some areas that you might want to go over a little bit, or you might want to put some pattern into. And always add as you go. It's yours. Oh, I'm just going to go like that. Alright, so now it sort of all joins together when you go over with the dark colour. There's her nose, her ear, down her very lovely shaped face, around. I'm going to show you in a minute the watercolour one I did earlier with our homemade watercolours, and show that you can actually use texture. So some of the kids, you guys might, who like to do a little bit more detailed work, some of the older kids might want to do some more detailed pattern with texture. So much fun, doesn't matter what age you are. There's a necklace. Oops, over her lips. My, you have lovely big lips. I would have rathered black, but hey, we don't stress about these things. Around the eye. Oh, looking a bit evil there, love. not very happy about things. Over the eyebrow. This eyebrow. Oh, oops, a daisy. Oh, again, don't stress. Control your oil pastel, Mrs. M. There we go. Now, again, you can go back in, add if you want, into your abstract artwork once you've had a bit of a look. All right. So there's my abstract. I think I'm going to a bit more there. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. Do you know what? You can do it a few times, but use different mediums, it's called. Did you know that paint, pencil, they're all called different mediums? Whatever you like. Give a bit of a whirl. All right. So that's that one. I'm going to show you now my watercolour one. Sit that one over there. These are my watercolour ones I made earlier. Now this one's a more complicated one, so this might be for the older kids. So this is the ones that I numbered. I forgot my 8. I don't know what was going on. Let me put out. You go left to right. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bit of German. Oops. 8, 9, 10. 12. My sister would be proud. Okay. Get them fairly much together. I haven't had a look at this one finished. It's a bit exciting when you cut things up. And then I'm going to put a bit more glue on this time. Go slightly crazy. As crazy as my day is going to get today, Rube. Oh, straighten up. Did anyone have to cut up an old t-shirt because they didn't have wool? Wonder how that went. So these are the things I wonder. When we do this sort of thing, I wonder what they've done. Did they have wool? Did they use fabric? What did they do? All right. Oh, it gets sticky on your fingers, come on. Again, once we flip it over, we can adjust a little bit. See, there's my 2 6s. Oh. All right. Put my other piece of paper. Now again, remember if you don't have A3, you can always put 2 bits together. Oh, come on, tuck in. Get a little rub. Right, over we go. Ta-da! All right, that one's moved a little bit. That's all right. Let's readjust a tad. Now see what I mean? When you do this, either use all paint or all oil pastels. So in that one I used oil pastels, and this one I've used all paint. And with watercolour you can, so just stick all your bits down again. You can go over it in either fine liner, permanent marker, just even black texture, whatever you've got. And we're being adaptable at the moment. I had to adapt because I didn't even have a ruler. But I'll go back later. Come on, number 3. Straighten up there. Okay, this is the fun part, because when you draw your black line is when you see your artwork come to life a bit more. Now my grade 5 and 6s, I expect you to email me your results. So either just a permanent marker or just a black texture. Okay, I'm going to start at the top, connect the hair together. You don't have to use black if you don't want to. You might, if you don't want it to stand out so much, whereas I like it to stand out, you could use a different colour texture. Remember what I said, no right or wrong in art. I love when everyone's artwork is different, don't you, Rube? Oh, it's an enthusiastic. All right, oh, over the line. All right, hairline. Just sort of hold it so it can join up. One of these ears. What am I going to call this guy? I'm going to call him Henry. Why not? I had a lovely student called Henry who lived last year. Miss my students when they go away. Alright. Oh, I think that's his eyebrow up there. Oh, I like the smell of permanent marker. Oh, join those eyebrows up. Alright, his neck. T-shirt. Whoop, doesn't matter. Oh, I did a moustache. Forgot about that. How suave you look. Now he's got a big nose. No judgment. I don't mind a big nose. Whoop. Right, your eyeball, sir. Hold on. I'm going to make you see. And around. One eyeball. A bit crooked. Remember, it's abstract, so it doesn't have to be realistic. These are not realistic colours. And the shape is, his head, everything's not realistic. There we go. So there is him so far. Now you can spend some time putting some pattern into him if you want. You may just want to leave it how it was. Again, remember, no right or wrong. I'm a bit of a pattern girl. You can spend a lot of time doing this. I'm not going to spend too much time. This is up to you to create your own little style from here on. I might finish it and show you next time what he looks like. Okay. Oh, I could do this all day, Rubes. Alright, so give it a go. Remember, one of our mottos is I'm going to have some fun colouring in some pattern in him, and then I'll show you. Alright, lovelies, here's my finished artwork of Henry. Now, one thing I wanted to add was you don't have to copy mine. It's more the ideas. I love it when everyone comes up with an original thing. It's a good thing about artwork. No right or wrong. So whatever you do is absolutely fabulous and perfect. Okay, good luck. Have fun. So your first job, I'm going to run you really, really quickly through it again. You draw an abstract face. Woo! However you want. I did it really quick. You turn it out, you can fold it into however many squares you want to do. You might only want to do 4. Open it up. Do your numbers on the back. For this one, there's only 4. Then you cut it up. Cut it up. And then you choose whether it's texture, pencil, whatever you like. You have different sections that you need to colour in, and then you lay them down in your numbers, put your paper on top and turn it over and finish it. I hope you enjoyed that. Well, I had a lot of fun doing that. Nip, I think you need to come and say goodbye because you've slept through today. Oh, it's a tough life being Napoleon, hey? Do you like this one? What do you think? Oh yeah, you look tired today. So please email me. My favourite part of the day is going to my emails and having a look at your artwork. I love, love, love it. This is why I'm doing it, to see what you guys are up to at home with all your wonderful artwork. All right. Bye.